Hello everyone. A very warm welcome to the Hindu newspaper Analysis Townhall. Today, September 20th, and we are going to cover the following articles from the Hindu newspaper. First one, Supreme Court rejected a plea where the petitioner challenged the inauguration of Dasara Puja in Mysore by a Muslim dignitary. Here the petitioner challenged that it goes against the essential religious practice of Hinduism and also Article 25. So here we will analyze what are the various constitutional aspects. Second, Saudi-Pakistan Pact. In this article, we will see why Saudi and Pakistan have come to an arrangement where they have signed a security pact and what are going to be the impacts on India. Third, Election Commission deregistered unrecognized political parties. What are unrecognized political parties and what are the benefits and what are the issues with these? We will have a look at. Then a climate health vision. Here we will see how steps taken to protect the climate can have positive benefits for the health. So how both are linked. Then shifting sands in the West Asia. How India has to play now the balancing act in the West Asia after Israel attack on Qatar and Saudi and Pakistan pact. Let's start. Yes, basically case क्या है? In Mysore, the Dasara festival by the state government, it will be inaugurated by Booker Prize winner Banu Mushtaq. ठीक है? Now the petitioner challenged this in Supreme Court, saying, how can a Muslim inaugurate the Dasara festival? Inauguration can have two aspects. First one, ribbon cutting. The petitioner says it is okay. This is secular in nature. But the second is performing puja, that is offering the flowers, etc. to the deity. How can a Muslim perform the puja at the Dasara festival? Supreme Court rejected the plea. Supreme Court asked the petitioner to go and read the preamble. Okay. So here we will analyze what the Supreme Court said and what are the various constitutional concepts involved in this. Basically, preamble and secularism. Basically, preamble declares India to be a secular republic. Yes, in preamble by the 42nd Amendment Act, the word secularism was inserted in the preamble. Secularism in India does not mean strict separation of religion and state. यहाँ पर वेस्ट की तरह strict separation नहीं है religion and state के बीच में. यहाँ पर state can interfere in religion for the reforms in particular religion. State maintains a principal distance. This is the keyword we use in all questions related to the secularism. There will be a distance, but principal distance from all religion, and it will not favor or discriminate against any particular religion. It respects pluralism and ensures equal treatment of all faiths. The same view has been held by Supreme Court in various cases. Secularism as the basic structure of constitution. In 𝐮𝐸𝐴 𝐕𝐢𝐝 case, it was upheld. In 𝐼𝐴S case, it was again repeated that secularism is the basic structure of the constitution. In 𝐼𝐴S case, Supreme Court said, though the term secularism was inserted in the constitution by the 42nd Amendment, but constitution was secular in its nature even before that. So India's constitution is secular. Therefore, there is no problem. There is no issue in a Muslim conducting the puja at the Dasara festival. Okay, because Supreme Court said it is a state program, not a private program. And state cannot discriminate between religion A, B or C. It cannot do this. Petitioner said it goes against the essential religious practice doctrine. What is this? Under Article 25, we have right to religion, right to practice a religion, profess a religion, right to conscience. Okay. So, for example, if a religious practice goes against any other fundamental right, say for example, right to equality, for example, entering of women in a certain temple, if it is a religious practice, it goes against Article 14, right to equality, and Article 21, right to life. Okay. So, in that case, Supreme Court will analyze if a particular practice is essential to a religion. it is the core of the religion, it is not a mere simple custom, it is the essence of the religion, then such practice can be upheld. So that is what the petitioner challenged, that offering of prayer by a Muslim, it goes against the essential religious practice of Hinduism. Okay, this doctrine was developed by Supreme Court in the 𝐮𝐸𝐽𝐝 case in 1954. In this, court examines whether practice is essential to a religion or just a customary tradition. Okay, protection under Article 25 will be extended only for the practices which are essential to a religion. Now, Supreme Court has dismissed the petition, saying there is no violation of essential religious practice. Why? Because a puja can still be conducted by priest regardless of who inaugurates. उन्होंने कहा कि इनोग्रेशन हो जाएगा, ऑफरिंग ऑफ प्रेयर्स हो जाएगा, उसके बाद पूजा जो है अपना प्रिस्ट कर लेंगे, तो इसमें कोई वायलेशन नहीं हो रहा है एसेंशियल रिलीजियस प्रैक्टिस का. ऑल्सो state's choice to invite a dignitary cannot be challenged on religious ground, because for state, that is, it's a state function, so for a state it cannot discriminate between any religion. Also, the courts talked about the constitutional ideals of equality, fraternity and secularism, which overrides the communal objection. So this is about the case. Supreme Court has rejected the petition. Now the ribbon ceremony or inaugural puja can be go ahead as planned. Second, yes, very good article, Saudi-Pakistan Pact. Here we will see how this pact has come to, how these both countries have come to an arrangement, what has been historical relation with these, and what is going to be the impact on India. Okay, first of all, strategic mutual defense agreement hai, under which attack on one country, so for example, attack on Pakistan will be considered as attack on Saudi Arab also. So they both will help each other. Okay, so these countries both are Sunni majority countries. They have many commonalities and differences also. Okay, so what is the history between the relations between the Pakistan and Saudi Arab? From the 1950s, relations were very good. Defense cooperation was there. Okay, the golden period was 1979 to 89, with 20,000 Pakistani military was employed in Saudi Arabia. Okay, at that time, certain issues started coming, like Saudi leadership started treating Pakistani contingent as paid guards. In the same time, Pakistan ka jo leadership thi, now they are getting command from the Saudi, so they were not liking it. So what happened is, by 1990, the entire contingent was sent back. No Pakistani troop was there in the Saudi Arab. Then after that, Iraq invasion or Yemeni war ke daran, Pakistan did not send the troops. Okay, so why the agreement now? उसके बाद पाकिस्तान ने कभी भेजे नहीं, तो अब ऐसा क्या हुआ कि एग्रीमेंट हुआ? पाकिस्तान क्या चाहता है, एंड व्हाट द सऊदी अरेबिया इज लुकिंग फॉर. सऊदी क्या चाहता है, पाकिस्तान क्या चाहता है? सऊदी के लिए मोटिवेशन क्या है? सबसे पहले सिक्योरिटी. यस, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो ईरान का थ्रेट बढ़ता जा रहा है इन द मिडल ईस्ट. ईरान का न्यूक्लियर प्रोग्राम दे कैन स्टार्ट एनी टाइम, और इवन दे आर डेवलपिंग अंडरग्राउंड. सेकेंड, अब गाजा वॉर था, इसराइल ने कतार के ऊपर अटैक किया, उसके बाद भी यूएस डिड नथिंग. अगर something similar happened with Saudi Arabia tomorrow, then same can happen. US may not say anything. So there is the weakening of the US credibility. Third, Mohammed bin Salman wanted a US defense pact. Now it is not moving ahead. It is stalled. So therefore Pakistan automatically becomes the choice. US कोई defense pact sign नहीं कर रहा सऊदी के साथ. Second, why Saudi prefers Pakistani soldiers? Because they want to avoid, Saudis wants to avoid troops from the other Arab countries. Why? Because it can lead to some political or ideological risk. For example, if they invite some troops from, say, Egypt, then they can have some ideological differences. Therefore, it can impact the political sphere of the country. So therefore, the Pakistani soldiers become the choice. Also, Pakistan, the only Muslim country which has nuclear weapons. So therefore, it gives Riyadh, the Saudi Arab, symbolic deterrence. So these are the reasons why Saudi is looking for has looked for the agreement. Why Pakistan? Economy. अब उसको सऊदी से क्या चाहिए? फंड्स चाहिए, ऑयल चाहिए, इन्वेस्टमेंट चाहिए पाकिस्तान को. तो इसीलिए अगर वो सिक्योरिटी देगा, रिटर्न में कुछ तो लेगा ही. देन मिलिट्री प्रेस्टीज डेफिनेटली. ऑब्वियसली अब सऊदी यूएस पे डिपेंडेंट था, अब सऊदी साथ में पाकिस्तान के साथ आ गया, तो पाकिस्तान विल हैव गुड रिलेशन विद सऊदी एज वेल एज द यूएस, so therefore it will lead to advanced Saudi and US equipment and training. Leverage versus India, it can use ties with Riyadh and Washington to offset India's advantage. Definitely this is what they want the most. What are the implications for India? Okay, implications for India, first of all, energy dependence. India is the world's third largest oil importer and a top Saudi customer. So again, India is dependent on Saudi Arabia, but Saudi Arabia has signed pact with Pakistan, and India and Pakistan are not on talking terms. So it creates a complex web of relationships. Diaspora, India's largest diaspora in Middle East is in Saudi Arabia. So therefore, India has various economic and soft power influence in Saudi Arabia, but again, it will be challenged after the agreement. Defense ties are growing between India and Saudi Arabia. Also, the regional security will be at stake when entire Middle East is looking for war. Israel is attacking Iran, is Palestine attacking Qatar. So regional instability is likely to be there. See, in this, what should be the conclusion? Also, Saudis plan to invest $100 billion in India. So it is kind of becoming a complex thing for India to tackle or to deal with the growing geopolitical challenge in the Middle East. Conclusion is, SMDA, the Security Mutual Defense Agreement, is a marriage of convenience. Use these terms. Riyadh is securing symbolic support. Symbolic ही है. Why? Because ऐसे ईरान ऐसे पाकिस्तान की हेल्प लेके वो न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब नहीं ले सकता. Why? First of all, Saudi is not entirely dependent on Pakistan also. Why? Because the kingdom has got along well without foreign forces on its soil. 1991 के बाद इनकी कोई पाकिस्तानी forces नहीं थी, but still अल-कायदा टेररिज्म, इराक, यमन वॉर, इन्होंने सब अपने आप से झेल लिया था. साथ में 100 बिलियन का डिफेंस इंपोर्ट उसने ट्रंप को सऊदी अरब ने प्रॉमिस किया हुआ है, तो इसलिए पाकिस्तान में बहुत ज्यादा डिपेंडेंस नहीं है इनका. ओके, सेकंड, अब पाकिस्तान का न्यूक्लियर वेपन तभी उनके यूज में आ सकता है ना व्हेन ईरान अटैक्स विद न्यूक्लियर वेपन. उसके लिए ईरान को न्यूक्लियर वेपन डेवलप करना पड़ेगा. एज ऑफ नाउ तो यूएस क्लेम्स कि उन्होंने डिस्ट्रॉय कर दिया है, तो अगेन इसके यूज करे चांसेस आर वेरी लेस, वेरी रेयर. ओके, देन ऑल्सो व्हाट पाकिस्तान कैन डू, पाकिस्तान इसमें कोई डायरेक्ट न्यूक्लियर वेपन नहीं दे सकता, बट व्हाट कैन इट डू इज बेसिकली ट्रांसफर ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर डेवलपिंग न्यूक्लियर वेपन. बेसिकली Saudi कैन डेवलप इट्स ओन न्यूक्लियर वेपन if Pakistan transfer the technology, but for that it has to play the angle of China and US also. So it's not that easy. It's a dodgy insurance policy for both the countries. So this Riyadh, the Saudi secures symbolic support amid US unreliability. US की reliability अब नहीं है, and Iran-Israel tension. Islamabad basically monetizing the Saudi insecurity to offset its economic crisis and strategic disadvantage for India. So for India, the pact is not a direct threat, but it underlines the need for proactive West Asia engagement. This is a very good conclusion we can use in our answers as it is. 474 registered unrecognized parties taken out of election commission's list. अब क्या होता है देखो, अब इलेक्शन कमीशन के पास बहुत सारे रजिस्टर्ड पार्टीज हैं, ठीक है. अब टाइम टू टाइम इलेक्शन कमीशन को रिवाइज करता रहता है, और जो लग रहा है ये पार्टी कुछ कर नहीं रही है, जस्ट बस रजिस्टर होके रह गई है, दे अनरजिस्टर देम. व्हाट आर रजिस्टर्ड unrecognized political party? The name suggests they are unrecognized but registered. They are registered with the election commission under section 29A of the RPA 1951. रजिस्टर हो गए. अब बेसिकली दे हैव नॉट सिक्योर्ड इनफ वोट्स इन अ स्टेट पे या नेशनल लोकसभा इलेक्शन में सो दैट दे कैन बिकम अ रिकॉग्नाइज्ड पार्टी और स्टेट और नेशनल पार्टी. मैंने अपने एक पार्टी है, आई गोइंग टू द इलेक्शन कमीशन एंड गेट रजिस्टर्ड अंडर सेक्शन 29A. Even I have not contested election, I'm not contesting election regularly, still I can get registered. It is the fundamental right under Article 19(1)(c) to make associations. Okay. So as of May 2025, according to the data, 2,800 registered unrecognized political parties are there in India. 2800 political party. How many conducts election? Very less. ओके, अब रजिस्टर कर दिया. व्हाई पार्टीज रजिस्टर विद इलेक्शन कमीशन? बिकॉज ऑफ द सर्टेन एडवांटेजेस. व्हाट आर दीज? Tax exemption or donation. After I register myself as a political party, then whatever donations I'm getting, they are all tax exempted. Second, I can field candidate under the common symbol, same symbol के अंदर. Also nominate 20 star campaigners जिनके द्वारा एक्सपेंडिचर काउंट नहीं होता है इंडिविजुअल कैंडिडेट्स के खाते में. So these are the various advantages. That is why the parties are registered. अब इनको डीरजिस्टर करने में वेरियस चैलेंजेस हैं. पहली बात तो इलेक्शन कमीशन के पास पावर ही नहीं है. यस, ओके, इलेक्शन कमीशन कैन रजिस्टर बट इट डज नॉट हैव एक्सप्लिसिट पावर टू डीरजिस्टर. आरपीए में explicit power has not been given to the election commission. Supreme Court has also in the Indian National Congress versus Institute of Social Welfare and others case में election commission cannot deregister a party except under very specific or exceptional circumstances. जैसे if the registration was obtained by fraud, if the party is declared unlawful, only then it can do. ऐसे में if they are not conducting election and you are deregistering them, so this is what you cannot do legally or the constitutionally. So what should be done? Law Commission की रिपोर्ट है 255th रिपोर्ट, जिसमें Law Commission has talked about amending the law RPA to empower the Election Commission to deregister parties. Like specific grounds can be laid down. For example, if a party has not contested election last 10 years, then it should be deregistered. So it can do this. The Election Commission has also proposed to the government that we should be given the right under the law to deregister political parties. So this is about the registered unrecognized political parties. These parties basically exploit this tax exemptions and they do not contest elections also. Yes, climate health vision with lessons for India, lessons from India. इसमें दो चीजें डील करनी है. क्लाइमेट और हेल्थ का विजन क्या है और इंडिया से क्या क्या लेसन है जो इसमें हेल्प कर सकते हैं. फर्स्ट, इट टॉक्स अबाउट ब्राजील में जो ग्लोबल कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ था क्लाइमेट एंड हेल्थ का, जिसमें 90 कंट्रीज के डेलीगेट्स थे, इंडिया नहीं था. यस, इंडिया वाज नॉट प्रेजेंट इन दैट. जिसमें बेलम हेल्थ एक्शन प्लान को शेप किया गया, जिसको लॉन्च किया जाएगा COP 30 में. ओके, व्हाट इज बेलम हेल्थ एक्शन प्लान? इट इज अ फ्रेमवर्क डेवलप्ड बाय ब्राजील to guide countries in building health systems that are resilient to impacts of climate change. Climate change की वजह से जो impact health पर हो सकते हैं उनको काउंटर करने के लिए एक फ्रेमवर्क डेवलप किया है ब्राजील ने. उसको 30th जो COP 30 होगी बेलम ब्राजील में, उसमें उसको प्रेजेंट किया जाएगा. It emphasizes climate justice and health equity, focusing on protecting the most vulnerable communities. तो इसमें क्या है, अब हेल्थ और क्लाइमेट का लिंकेज है. इंडिया से वेरियस एग्जांपल्स है जहां पर इंडिया में हेल्थ एंड क्लाइमेट के लिंक्ड पॉलिसीज लॉन्च की गई हैं. जैसे प्रधानमंत्री पोषण शक्ति निर्माण, इट कवर्स 11 करोड़ चिल्ड्रंस. ओके, इट इज द कनेक्टिंग डॉट बिटवीन हेल्थ, एजुकेशन, एग्रीकल्चर एंड फूड प्रोक्यूरमेंट. इट ऑल्सो टॉक्स अबाउट प्रमोटिंग मिलेट्स एंड ट्रेडिशनल ग्रेन्स. अब मिलेट्स जो है अल्टरनेटिव टू राइस. ओके, अब बेनिफिट क्या है? हेल्थ बेनिफिट्स हैं, न्यूट्रिशनल वैल्यूज ज्यादा, और राइस का अल्टरनेट होगा तो क्लाइमेट ऑल्सो हाउ अंडरग्राउंड वाटर गेटिंग. सेम इज विद द स्वच्छ भारत अभियान, सैनिटेशन, पब्लिक हेल्थ, ह्यूमन डिग्निटी, एनवायरमेंटल सस्टेनेबिलिटी. क्लासिक एग्जांपल ऑफ प्रधानमंत्री उज्ज्वला योजना, जहां पर क्लीन कुकिंग फ्यूल यूज करेंगे, उससे क्या हो रहा है, एनवायरमेंट बच रहा है, एट द सेम टाइम वीमेन की हेल्थ प्रोटेक्ट हो रही है. So basically, certain initiatives can be there which are not health specific. They have been like climate specific, but they can have positive impacts on the health also. Okay, none of these initiatives were designed explicitly as climate policy, no, yet they have had significant health and climate co-benefits. Okay, so what India has done, why it has happened? First of all, strong political leadership with the Prime Minister also basically ensuring the cooperation among various ministries. Okay, health emergency, basically framing climate action as a health emergency rather than just an environmental issue. Second, community engagement has been there, like PM Poshan, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, even the Prime Minister himself going promoting the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Okay. Also building policies on the existing institution rather than creating parallel structures like ASHA workers, self-help groups. Now we have to empower them. Instead of creating new entities, we need to empower the already existing entities. But some challenges also come along with that. For example, there are social and cultural barriers. Even in Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, we experienced various social and cultural barriers where people were not ready to have toilets installed in their homes. Now the LPG economic issue. Now the cylinder has been provided under 𝐼𝐸𝐽𝐝 Yojana. Now in refilling of this cylinder, it needs money. Okay, so the LPG refill costs. So there are various issues also. So what should be done now? Basically, the first is strategic prioritization करना होगा by political leaders, where we have to frame policies which are like climate policies in terms of immediate health. मतलब climate और health की जो combination होगा यहाँ policies का, we have to frame those policies. Like Pradhanmantri Ujjwala Yojana is one example. Now, procedural integration across government departments. These are the various, classical issues. We always read about these in the our notes or classes. So these are the classical issues which needs to be resolved. Participation, okay, to leverage the health. So this is about the climate and health combination, BELEM Health Action Plan, and what India has done. How health and climate is linked. If a question comes, use these examples from India and what they have done. Then BELEM Health Action Plan also. Shifting sands, we have discussed about this context. सारा गेन से वही है. इसराइल ने क्या किया? कतार पे अटैक कर दिया. ईरान पे कर ही रहा था. पैलेस्टीन इशू चल ही रहा है. ओके, अब क्या हुआ? पाकिस्तान एंड सऊदी अरब का हो गया एग्रीमेंट. अब यूएस काइंड ऑफ विड्रॉ कर रहा है, बट काइंड ऑफ कंफ्यूज्ड भी है. अफगानिस्तान में ही सेइंग कि वी विल अगेन री एंटर. ओके, सो इन दिस केस इंडिया कहाँ फंसा हुआ है? इंडिया हैज गुड रिलेशन विद इजराइल, but if keeps on encouraging Israel or if keeps on supporting Israel, then Middle East will be lost. Second, India has good relation with Saudi Arab, but no relation with Pakistan. So again, have to balance it out. Okay, India के क्या क्या इंटरेस्ट है? इकोनॉमिक इंटरेस्ट है, ऑयल आता है वहां से, इन्वेस्टमेंट भी आती है. अगेन इकोनॉमिक इंटरेस्ट, एनर्जी इंटरेस्ट, डायस्पोरा इंटरेस्ट एंड रीजनल इंटरेस्ट. ओके, अब यूएस भी वहां से बैक कर रहा है, बिकॉज कतार के ऊपर भी अटैक यूएस ने, इजराइल को डेफिनेटली इट हैज अपोज्ड, बट नो सब्सटेंटिव स्टेप हैज बीन टेकन. सो नाउ सऊदी अरेबिया थॉट कि if US is not doing this, if Israel did this with, if Israel do the same with us tomorrow, then who will protect us? So it went ahead with Pakistan. Okay, right. In the past also, US has not taken any step when Saudi oil installations were attacked by Iranian allies in 2019. US did nothing. US forces shifting away from West Asia. Okay, so Abraham Accord also, which was signed with Israel and Arab countries. Again, if they are attacking, there'll be no sense of the Abraham Accord also, right? So therefore, Saudi Arabia is sending a clear signal to Washington and Tel Aviv that it is diversifying its security alliances. Okay, पाकिस्तान को क्या चाहिए? फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस चाहिए. ठीक है. As India has taken a pro-Israel tilt, Arab monarchies seem to be hedging their bets. अब इंडिया अगर ओपनली क्रिटिसाइज नहीं कर रहा, तो सऊदी अरेबिया वेंट अहेड विद पाकिस्तान. Okay, so it is now how India balances its various relations in the Middle East. It's very interesting. We'll see how the situation will evolve. So this is it from today's newspaper. Now we'll see you tomorrow. I'm attaching these notes in the comment box. If you have any issue, please ask in the comment box. I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, good luck. Goodbye. Thank you.